Hey girl, welcome to On My Mark, your weekly transformational podcast designed to motivate, empower, and inspire to aspire. Yes, in that order. I am your host, Ravimbo C, and I'm a speaker by passion, philanthropist by purpose, and a Zimbabwean by tradition. I want to let you in on a little secret. This isn't your typical motivational podcast. This right here is transformational. So join me every Tuesday for your weekly dosage of inspiration. Hey everyone, welcome back if you're joining us again, and welcome if this is your first time listening to On My Mark podcast. What we'd really like you to do is to go and listen to all the other episodes. But yes, if it's your first time, make sure you listen. This is episode number 8. So yes, make sure you listen to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that we can be on this journey of hello transformation together. Like I've just mentioned, this is episode 8. And we've got 4 more episodes left for this season. Oh. Don't be sad. Season 2 is going to be bigger and better, I promise. So remember, throughout this month of December, we are focusing on the transition into the new year. Letting go of all limitations and unnecessary baggage and embracing the new year. So we're calling this December #mental transition. We started this last week in episode 7, and episode 7 we talked about adapting to change and how important it is to adapt into change, especially with everything that's been happening this past year with the pandemic, with having to adapt to different ways of doing things, and the importance of adapting, especially going into the new year, because so many things are going to stay the same, and we're asking ourselves that, is this now the new norm of doing things, or are we going to be stuck on that mentality of I'm just going to wait until things go back to the way that they were before? What if they never do go back to the way they were before? So if you want to hear more of that, listen to episode 7, Adapting to Change. So, today's episode is called Resilience, Growing from Setbacks. Oh, I love that. Resilience, Growing from Setbacks. Why is this important in our mental transition into 2021? Well, simply because 2020 has stretched many of us beyond the level we never thought we could be stretched. Been put through so much just this year alone. But do you want to know something that I realized? We are more resilient than we realized. What do I mean when I say resilience? Resilience is our ability to adapt and bounce back when things don't go as planned. Resilience is our ability to adapt and bounce back when things don't go as planned. How many things did not go as planned this year? It gets better. Here's one of my favorite definitions. Resilience is that indescribable quality that allows some people to be knocked down by life and come back, or you could say bounce back stronger than ever. Rather than letting failure overcome them and drain their resolve, they find a way to rise from the ashes. Ooh! Let's break it down like this. The word resilience comes from the Latin verb salire, which means to jump. The prefix re means back or again. Hence, resilience is literally about jumping back, as in jumping back into a prior state, or jumping again, as in rebounding. It describes restoration of power. So you mean power that I already possess, Because by definition, restoration is the action of returning something to a former owner, place, or condition. Hey, let's stop looking at all of those things as external factors that we all have to acquire all the time. Oh, I have to learn to adapt to change because I don't know how to. Oh, I have to become resilient because I am not resilient. You possess these qualities. You have the ability to be this person. Remember what we said in episode 7. It's in your DNA. You just have to be conscious about these things so that you can learn how to use these to your advantage. This is why every episode we take time out to identify all these qualities, because you cannot use something that you're not aware of possessing. So in hindsight, all I'm really saying here is, despite whatever you may have gone through in 2020, all the storms, the winds you withered through, just like a bamboo stick, you were bent, but not broken. There's a quote by Jodi Picoult which says, "The human capacity for burden is like a bamboo, far more flexible than you could ever believe at first glance." So throughout the studies of English literature, there are many definitions of resilience, because I was reading on this. And here's another one. George Valiant, 1993, defines resilience as the self-righting tendencies of the person, both the capacity to be bent without breaking, and here's where I'm going with this, the capacity, once bent, to spring back. So with resilience, the capacity to be bent without breaking is only part one. Everything you have survived this past year, every difficult situation, every unpleasant experience that has bent you, that was only part one. Now, here's the thing. As we prepare the mental transition into 2021, it's time to enable part two. The capacity, once bent, to spring back. Note to yourself. Write this down. The comeback is always stronger than the setback. Okay, you didn't quite get that. Maybe it didn't quite land the way I wanted it to land. Let's use the slingshot mentality. Okay. With a slingshot, you're pulled back before you go forward. And this is often true in life. Sometimes when certain people are held back in life for whatever reason, this year alone, many people have experienced setbacks in their places of work, lost their jobs, broken down relationships. That energy can be built inside them, like their entire lives are being pulled back in a slingshot. When they are finally freed from their challenge, their energy is finally released, like they're shot out of a slingshot they were stuck in, and they have the opportunity to shoot 10 times further than if they had just rolled through life without any setback. It is that setback that creates the energy to throw us forward to bigger and better things. So if, like me, you've experienced setbacks in this year or in your life, you have a choice at this point to stay down or use that experience as the energy to project yourself forward. If you want to be successful in whatever dreams you have and enter into the new year with renewed energy, abandon the helpless mentality. You are here for a reason, and the challenges you face are there for a reason. Don't let them beat you. Don't let them break you. Instead, learn what they're teaching you and use all those learning lessons, frustrations you felt, and embrace them as the giant slingshot they're meant to be in your life to make you grow, mature, toughen, and slingshot you 10 times further than you could have gone if you would have just rolled through life with nothing extreme happening to you. So, how can you strengthen your resilience? Here are 5 things you have to be conscious of and strengthen. Number 1, believe in your own abilities. Having confidence in your own ability to cope with the stresses of life can play an important part in resilience. Becoming confident in your own abilities, including your ability to respond and deal with the crisis, is a great way to build resilience for the future. Listen for negative comments in your head, and when you hear them, practice immediately replacing them with the good ones, with the positive ones, such as, I can do this. I'm a great friend. I'm a great mother. I'm a great partner. Or I'm good at my job. Remember, we spoke about this in episode 6, Flight Mode. What are you saying to yourself? Number 2, embrace change. Remember in episode 7, adapting to change. Flexibility is an essential part of resilience. By learning how to be more adaptable, you'll be better equipped to respond when faced with life crisis. Resilient people often utilize those events as an opportunity to branch out into new directions. While some people may be crushed by abrupt changes, highly resilient people are able to adapt and to thrive. Number 3, be optimistic. Remember in episode 5, see, every episode has been a build up to the next one. Remember in episode 5, attitude adjustment. Staying optimistic during dark periods can be difficult, but maintaining a hopeful outlook is an important part of resiliency. What you're dealing with may be difficult, but it's important to remain hopeful and positive about the brighter future. Positive thinking does not mean ignoring the problem in order to focus on the positive outcomes. It means understanding that setbacks are temporary and that you have the skills and the abilities to combat the challenges that you face. Number 4, nurture yourself. When you're stressed, it can be all too easy to neglect your own needs. Losing your appetite, ignoring exercises, and not getting enough sleep are all common reactions to a crisis situation. Instead, try focusing on building your self-nurturing skills. Even when you're troubled, make time for activities that you enjoy. Make time to go out. Make the time to go out, relief, walk, see people, talk to people, be in a different environment. Number 5, keep working on your skills. A stronger resilience may take time to build, so don't get discouraged if you struggle to cope with problematic events. Everyone can learn to be resilient, and it doesn't involve any specific set of behaviors or actions. Resilience can vary dramatically from one person to the next. Focus on practicing those skills as well as the common characteristics of resilient people, but also remember to build on existing strengths that you already have. I would never wish adversity to happen to any of you, but neither would I not wish it not to happen, because it's often through our adversities that we discover our real strength. We discover who we really are, and that propels us forward. Adversity causes some people to break and others to break records. Listen, this 2021 is time to start breaking some records, period. Join us again next week as we continue to transform and win. Be sure to subscribe on our website onmymark.co for weekly exclusives and giveaways. Until next time, on my mark, get set, let's go.